Sickness and diarrhea.
Yeah, sickness and diarrhea.
Not in the case, you understand. Cures for.
You wouldn't get that through custard.
Yeah. Of course, diarrhea is extremely common when you're abroad, food poisoning, whatever you want to call it.
49% had diarrhea abroad, 29% had vomiting, 22% have had food poisoning.
Yeah, well, food poisoning is the same as, vomiting and diarrhea.
Yeah.
But, medicine broadens the mind, travel broadens the mind and loosens the bowels,
Right.
Yeah, right. So you've got to be prepared. You may well get the runs. Now, even if you go into a 5-star hotel, okay,
you just never know.
No guarantee. Cause
what are you taking?
Should we talk about prevention first of all?
Exactly, yeah. With each one, we'll try and do prevention. How do you prevent this? Well, with the diarrhea and vomiting you get abroad, where's it from? It's usually from food and water, okay? Now, if you're in your own apartment, with the fruit and the veg and the salads, wash them yourself with bottled water, not the tap water, because you don't know the source of the tap water, okay? If you're staying in a hotel that's got a running open buffet all day long, be careful, you've got the salad there, open all day, 1 or 2 flies flying around, right? Is the meat at the right temperature? Has it been fully cooked? I'm not putting people off, just be aware of these things. And if you've got ice cubes in the fridge in your room, are the ice cubes made from tap water or bottled water?
Cleaning your teeth?
Cleaning your teeth with bottled water? Yeah, even just going to dry your hands in the toilet, hopefully it's not a toweling towel, it's a paper towel or a hot air blower. These are things you have to. We can't cover the whole thing comprehensively this morning. Just start thinking about things like this. Yeah?
So, what medicines are good to take with you if you do fall ill?
The big thing with diarrhea is you tend to lose a lot of fluid, and in that fluid are electrolytes, sodium and potassium. And when you lose those, you're very tired, very exhausted. So basically, lots and lots of water. That's important. And then the electrolyte replacement products that are out there, and these just dissolve in water. You make a drink, full instructions with it, and that will give you fluid and give you the sodium and the potassium
and replace
as well.
all those things.
Yeah. And there are all sorts of tales about drinking flat Coke or flat ginger beer. Look, you need fluid in, basically non-gassy, because that could affect you if you're being sick, and you'll get bloated if you've got the diarrhea. So just loads of fluid.
A good way to get the bottle, if it's fizzy, to get it instantly flat. And I know it sounds ridiculous when it's full of sugar anyway, but if you put a spoon of sugar in it, it takes all the fizziness out of it instantly.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, if you're panicking or anything, yeah.
Well, does it go like a fizz? Is it like a big fizz?
It doesn't all fizz out. I don't know. It just takes the fizz out. It's odd.
Go for the water.
This has not been scientifically proven.
Try it. See what happens.
OK, we're done with that one. Thank you very much indeed.
Next, please.
So next up, the bane of my life, being bitten. But more serious than that, also, we're talking about malaria. But prevention, first of all, if you are going to a high-risk malaria region, what do you need to do?
Before you go, again, prevention, you need to look at this about 6 to 8 weeks before you go away. Go and see your doctor or a travel clinic or access sites online, because if it's a high-risk malaria area, you have to be taking medication, the correct medication, correct dosage, a few weeks before you go, while you're there, and after you come back. And this is the big problem. People get back home, oh, I feel great, and they stop the medication.
Yes.
So you have to follow those instructions very, very carefully. Now, with malaria, it's the female mosquito that bites you, usually in the evening or at night time. It's from dusk to dawn. So certainly what you should be doing is using repellents. Now, of course, we have lots of repellents on the market. I mean, there's just a very small selection. And what you're looking for in these repellents is DEET, D-E-E-T. 20 to 50% DEET concentration, and that's a very good insect repellent. And with the situation with mosquitoes, when you are out there, long sleeves, long trousers in the evening, even socks on in the evening with the repellent, and if you can get a mosquito net, even better if you're in a high-risk area.
What about children? Because sometimes you can't use these strong DEET chemicals, or children, or also pregnancy as well. You have to be a bit careful.
That's right. What you need to do is go to the shelves, look at the labels, and then pick the right product for you. And you'll find this information on the various websites, which we have links to from our
And if you do get bitten?
Well, I mean, the main thing is the itch, insect bites, so something's going to stop the itch. Antihistamine creams can help, but hydrocortisone cream, which you can buy over the counter, keep it in the fridge, right? And by keeping it in the fridge, when you put it on, it's cool anyhow,
So it's
temperature-wise,
soothing.
but it does counteract inflammation and the itch. And if the bites persist, if they're red and swollen, or if they're oozing, they may be infected, then you may need to see pharmacist or doctor.
Don't use chamomile cream as it dries them out.
Well, yeah, calamine, I mean, it's an old-fashioned remedy.
Yeah.
When you put it on skin, of course, it does cool the skin because the water evaporates, dropping the temperature of the skin, but you're then left with a cakey mess all over your body.
All right, sunstroke and sunburn, very serious. 90% have had sunstroke, closely followed by 15% have sunburn. Obviously, prevention, high factor, is that right?
Well, yes. I mean, the message has always been, high factor, factor 30, factor 50. Getting a cream that also has... When you talk about high factor, that's protection against UVB, which burns. There's also UVA. And if you look at your container, you may find a UVA
It's a bit
star.
shiny, that one. Tilt it forward a bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can we see the stars there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
The more stars, the
That's
merrier.
a star rating, so the more star, the more protection. Now, this week, there was an interesting scientific paper published which says that it's all very well putting the high-factor creams on, and they're not decrying that, but it's not enough. They say you should be actually covering up as well because the damage is done to the DNA in the deep layers of the skin.
Right.
So it's a high factor, and the clothes, the long sleeves, the wide hat. Don't lie in the sun between 11 and 3. Right? Lie in the sun at other times with your high factor stuff on. With the creams, think of them as paint. Put a double layer on, right? A double layer is always better than one layer. And of course with children, my goodness, I hate to see children who are red, right? And you see it so often. Children or teenagers that burn more than double their risk of skin cancer 30 or 40 years later.